Everybody has gifts. Everybody. Even if you're going through something tough right now. Even if you're going through something tough, you might just find those gifts, those natural talents are hidden. You haven't seen them, you haven't realized them. They're covered up. And our job is to uncover them. Our job is to look under the cover and see that this is my talent, this is my gift. And when we go through something difficult, what's on the other side of that? So what's the biggest thing that holds people back? In my opinion, the biggest thing that holds people back isn't a lack of information. It's not, I need to know the secret sauce. I need to know how to get from A to B. It's not that. The biggest thing that holds people back, and this has been the case for me, and it may be the case for you, is fear. The underlying fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being enough, or good enough, or messing up. All the things that cause you anxiety. But if we can transmute that, if we can remove our doubts, if we can embody the essence of a hero, the essence of that main character in that story that goes from difficulty and learns from that difficulty and constantly evolves, surpasses its limits, like in Dragon Ball Z or My Hero Academia, surpasses its limits and goes beyond and goes beyond and goes beyond. And what does beyond mean for you? That's for you to decide. Beyond can be something as small as getting a little bit better every day, or a little bit more satisfied, or moving into a greater state of contentment, or greater sense of I can do this, a greater sense of freedom of the mind, freedom from emotions. That's what it is for me, to become more free every day. And so for me, being inspired by these heroes, being inspired by characters and stories, and realize these stories, this energy behind these stories, the energy behind these stories, I can use and I can embody in my life. Because you can also be a hero. You can walk with that confidence. You can walk like a celebrity with that charisma that you desire, with that determination that you desire, like a king on his mission to sovereignty, ruling his kingdom, ruling his inner kingdom. And when we can feel into that, and we can be inspired by movies, by music, and be a purposeful consumer, and to really feel into that essence, that intention the creator had when making that film, when making that TV show, when making that song. And when we're doing it purposefully, we can see that vision, and we can be inspired by that vision. It's really easy to just not be a purposeful consumer, to be thrown off, because there's so many things. But for me, when I can be a bit more purposeful, that helps me to align myself with a greater, a more inspired, a more creative, a more loving energy. Everybody has gifts. Everybody. And they may be covered up right now, or they may feel covered up. You might be like, Dylan, where's my gift? I'm not good at anything. I have no talents. And if you're thinking like that right now, and if you're going through some difficulty, think of the difficulty, and you see that at the other side of this difficulty is where your gift lies. For the shadow of the self, the darkness, the fear, the insecurity, the thing that you're struggling to understand, on the other side of that, darkness is light. On the other side of that shadow is your city, your gift, your strength, your power, your knowing, your understanding. It can be easy to not see that when we are stuck in the mud. When we're stuck in the mud, we're so focused on getting out of the mud, and we're so maybe frustrated at getting out of the mud that we don't see that as soon as the feet leave that mud, there will be a beautiful view, a beautiful mountain, and you're right there. So when I look at people now, instead of seeing all the problems, all the things they aren't so good at, in others and myself, I see the potential. And when I can align my mind to the potential of people, of humanity, and I can see that, well, this person looks like they aren't so good at whatever they're working on. But I can see that if you can get through that, if you can transmute like an alchemist, that problem, on the other side of that is greatness.